Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenn Rashipura. In the news tonight, the former Windhoek Mayor Francina Kahunga, during the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding with the Namibian Family Planning Association, highlighting the handling of adolescent programs at NAPA's office, where NAPA is taking these activities. This means that SWAPO Party Women's Council shall also do the same in partnership with NAPA, she said during the signing last week.
NAPA will run the adolescents and youth-friendly clinics at its facilities to increase the uptake of sexual reproductive health services and provide relevant information, thus contributing inter alia to the reduction of HIV infection among the young people in the community. Where NAPA is taking these activities, then it means that SWAPO Party Women's Council shall also do the same in partnership with NAPA. Next, where possible, NAPA will support SWAPO Party Women's Council in offering comprehensive sexuality education to the Namibian nation through SWAPO Party Women's Council regional and national structures, using the internationally approved curricula on comprehensive sexuality education, but also we look what is that relevant to the Namibian context.
The mayor of Swakopmund, Dina Namobes, delivered the keynote address at the handing over of sanitation centers in the DRC.
Director of Ceremonies, could you kindly allow me to stand on the protocols that you established already? Good morning to you all. It gives me great pleasure and an honor to be part of this important occasion. I feel extremely delighted to be part of this celebration, to hand over the community-led total sanitation to you as the community of DRC. You will agree with me that a city without sanitation is not a complete city. If we are all not happy, the whole city is not happy. We have to start with the grassroots. Do you agree with me? Yes. Okay, that's why we are here today. We are really very happy that we can share this important celebration with you today. As we all know, poor sanitation has major negative impacts on the health and the environment. It is known to cause diseases and ill health and also pollute the environment. It has been Council's mandate to provide proper services to our community, working together with various stakeholders. Poor hygiene practices have an acute influence on the transmission of diseases at various stages. This is especially prevalent in contributing conditions such as overcrowding, lack of water and approved sanitation facilities, and a lack of knowledge on the impact of poor hygienic practices in our daily lives and in the activities guiding the livelihood of communities. The result of these poor personal hygiene practices therefore often leads to exposure to diseases and unwanted illnesses. The ladies will confirm that you are really not a lady if you are exposed to an open environment when you want to release yourself. Do you agree with me? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, these facilities are for you as the community of DRC to make use of. The facilities are 6 in total, which are constructed on various open spaces in DRC, which is on A1 7539 8146 8438 8664, where we are currently, which is 10323 and 10322. They are consisting of a male and female toilet as well as a kiosk, which will be operated by, maintained and kept clean by a community member selected by the community.
Namibia has reclaimed her spot at the top of the list of Africa's freest press and placed 22nd in the world, outperforming first world countries like the United Kingdom, France, and Belgium. South Africa fell just below Namibia, followed by Seychelles, which dropped from the top as the freest African press in 2022. In a statement, the Namibian presidency said the media is crucial to democracy and plays an essential role in keeping the public informed and government institutions accountable. It further labeled the press as an important pillar for effective governance. President Hage Geingob will guarantee freedom of the Fourth Estate for as long as he is the president of this country. This demonstrates the fact that the strength of Namibia in press freedom is a function of the commitment of President Geingob and the government he leads to upholding the values of the Namibian Constitution. The World Press Freedom Index evaluates the environment for journalism in 180 countries and territories and is published on World Press Freedom Day, the 3rd of May. This year, it found that the situation is very serious in 31 countries, difficult in 42 problematic, and 55 good or satisfactory, and in 52 countries also satisfactory. In other words, the environment for journalism is bad in 7 out of 10 countries and satisfactory in only 3 out of 10, it said.
Namibia has reclaimed her #1 position in Africa as the freest press as per the latest Press Freedom Index ranking as released today by the Reporters Without Borders organization. Globally, Namibia is now ranked 22 out of 180 countries.
This ranking cements Namibia's stand in areas of good governance, transparency, and accountability for a functional democracy as a leading country in terms of media freedom on the continent and globally. Furthermore, this latest ranking is attributed to, among others, the promulgation of the Access to Information Law that was enacted in December 2022. As a government, we continue to take effective steps in implementing the Access to Information legislation as we committed 20 million Namibia dollars for the 2023-2024 financial year towards the establishment of the Office of the Information Commissioner. The Access to Information Law is a cornerstone of freedom and will allow the media to access information to inform the Namibian people to make informed decisions in order to improve their socio-economic well-being. As we celebrate World Press Freedom Day today under the theme Shaping a Future of Rights, Freedom of Expression as a Driver for All Other Human Rights, the government will continue to uphold all these human rights without any discrimination. Any violation of these human rights is indeed a violation of the principle on which the Namibian nation was founded to attain independence.
The government of the Republic of Namibia will continue to promote press freedom as enshrined in Article 21 of the Namibian Constitution, which guarantees the freedom of the media and reassures the citizenry of its commitment to maintain a conducive environment for the media to flourish and ensure access to quality, timely, and accurate information as required by the Windhoek +30 Declaration. Without freedom of the press, democracy would not flourish.
Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology Executive Director Adrian Mathe encouraged the arrival of ICT giant Complete Enterprise Solutions last week during the company's information event. Mathe, during his address, said that in September this year, a data protection bill will be tabled in Parliament, and thus this new edition is of value. With that, we hope that we will be able to protect the rights of individuals in regard to their data. The bill will provide for rights of data services so that these things won't be held absent. We do this deliberately because we know what has happened in other countries, he said. Furthermore, Mathe says the bill will provide for a supervisory authority for data protection, which will be a public enterprise that will be publicly accountable. According to CES, it has achieved VM accredited service partner status, a first for Namibia and Southern Africa. The SP program is an accreditation issued only to those with the highest VM solution expertise levels, CES said in a statement. We believe that our services will provide unparalleled protection and visibility to every network segment, device, and appliance, whether virtual, in the cloud, or on premises. We are also honored to have Dr. Adrian Mathe deliver the keynote address at the event, and we enjoyed his eye-opening insights and expertise in the field of data protection, said Lisa Stradom, the VM Senior Manager of Channeled and Alliances. In our Story of the Day segment, the total average level of the country's dams currently stands at 70% compared to last season when it was 82.3% full.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our story of the day, the total average level of the country's dams currently stands at 70% compared to last season when it was 82.3% full. In the central areas of Namibia, the average dam level stands at 54.6%, while last season it was only 63.2% full. Dams that supply Windhoek with water are currently 52.2% full compared to last year's 61.6%. The Swakopmund Dam's level is at 71.6%, but water is still being pumped over to the Von Bach Dam, which is now 26.2% full. Von Bach was 52.5% full during the same period last year. Now the Oneuptwo Dam, from which water was also pumped to Von Bach, is now empty. The Swakopmund Dam level was last season, the level 92.8%, the Von Bach was 52.5%, and the Oneuptwo Dam 24.6%. Meanwhile, the Friedenau Dam's level stands at 69.8%, and the Koreanghab Dam is at 100%. Now last season, the level of these dams was 91% and 96% respectively. In the south, the total average dam levels are 76.2% compared to last season's 91.2%. The level of the Hardap Dam stands at 38.5%, the Nakartal Dam at 92.8%, and the Nauta Dam at 64.8%. These are Namibia's three largest dams and were respectively 69.8%, 99.5%, and 101% full last season. Meanwhile, the levels of the Oneuptwo Dam are at 60.2%, the Driehoek Dam at 1.2%, and the Bondels Dam is empty. The total average of the dams in the area of Gobabe stands at only 8.9% compared to last season's 38.1%. Now, the Oshivero Main Dam is currently at 11.3% full, while the last season the level of the dam was at 38.2%. The Tilda Viljoen Dam is 42.5% full, and the level of the Dan Viljoen Dam stands at 17.4%. These dams were 32.4% and 53.1% full last season. In the north, the Olushunja Dam is 23% full in comparison to last season when the level was at 16.1%. However, the Omaruru Delta Dam and the Omashene Dam are both empty, the same as last season. Now, rainfall performance for 2022 and 2023 rainfall season was extremely poor with unprecedented rainfall patterns, according to the Crop Prospects and Food Security Outlook report recently released by the Agriculture Ministry. It said that in January this year, the northeastern and north-central regions of the country, Kunene, Omusati, Oshana, Ohangwena, Oshikoto, Kavango East and West, and Zimbabwe experienced above-average rainfall, whereas the Karas, Hardap, Erongo, Western, Kunene, and Omaheke regions received below-average rainfall for the same period. The report added that the performance of rainfall during February this year saw a significant decline across the country, with Kunene, Omusati, Ohangwena, Oshana, Oshikoto, Khomas, Omaheke, Erongo, Hardap, and Karas regions experiencing very low to no rainfall. In economic news after the break, Bank Windhoek commends the vehicle industry. To stay tuned.
To another exciting episode of Oneuptwo. Jullie is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
Let's take a look at our economic news. Bank Windhoek at the annual Northern Select Sales Award in Oshakati commended the vehicle industry for showcasing amicable results which reflect the resilient post-pandemic environment. The vehicle sales environment has seen many challenges from supply chain distributions to the ever-volatile interest rate hike and heightened fuel prices. Anton Kanjimi from Indongo Ford won the Award of Excellence as the top salesperson of the year. We'll get into our international news shortly.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Let's get into our international news. At least 8 students and a security guard are dead after a shooting at a school in Serbia's capital, Belgrade. Another 6 pupils and a teacher were injured in the attack and have been taken to hospital, the Interior Ministry said in a statement. Now, police arrested a 14-year-old student at the Vladislav Ribinka School in central Belgrade in connection with Wednesday's morning's attack. The suspect is alleged to have used his father's gun, officials said. An investigation into the motives behind the incident is underway. Officers in helmets and bulletproof vests cordoned off the area around the school located in the central Vrakan neighborhood shortly after 8:40 a.m. local time. The police sent all available patrols immediately to the spot and arrested a suspected minor, a 7th grade student who is suspected of firing several shots from his father's gun in the direction of students and school security, the Interior Ministry said in a statement. Now, all police forces are still on the ground working intensively to shed light on all the facts and circumstances that led to this tragedy, it added in a later message. The sounds of crying parents could be heard in the streets around the school hours after Wednesday morning shooting. Some of them still do not know if their children are alive and told the BBC they were angered that the police haven't given them more information. Please tell us anything, some pleaded with the officers on the ground. Others were calling every hospital and doctor in Belgrade they know to see if their child is being treated there. She has long hair and black jeans, one mother was heard repeating over her phone. Local media carried images of what they said was the suspect being led away from the scene by police with his hands cuffed and his head covered by a jacket. Now, 2 13-year-old boys and 1 girl who were shot have been transferred to a local hospital in Tirosova. The director of the clinic, Dr. Sinisk Dusik, told state broadcaster RTS that the boys were stable, telling reporters that they had suffered gunshot wounds to their lower extremities. They are being monitored and receiving therapy, he added, but he said the girl had suffered a serious head injury and was undergoing an operation. Let's take a look at our weather predictions. Sunny and hot weather is expected in Anana at 35 degrees and thunder showers are expected in Ruakana at 34 degrees. Sunny weather is expected along the coast with a high of 19 degrees in Walvis Bay and 19 degrees in Henties Bay. We'll get into the sports news shortly. Sheripo Musutwa, Namibia's head of delegation to the just-ended Podium Performance Program training, said it was a huge success and looks forward to future editions. The inaugural Homecoming Boxing Fight Series is set to ignite the local boxing scene on Saturday next weekend in Walvis Bay. The series aims to revive the pride of boxing in the region and develop champions of tomorrow. Uganda, with 93 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs, won the final of the Capricorn Quadrangular International T20 competition by 3 runs against the Capricorn Women's Eagles at United in the capital. The Eagles nearly managed to beat Uganda. Yasmin Khan, with 40 unbeaten runs, is Namibia's best batter for the day. Watch as the captain of the team, Irene van Zyl, reflect on the match.
We're obviously very excited, to be in the final. We did all the hard work from the start, winning the 5 games in a row. Then you just want to take the next step and finish off that final game. I must say Uganda came out strong. I felt we bowled very well. I mean, restricting them, I think they were at 30 after 10 overs or something like that. So I think we did well as a bowling unit and as a fielding unit throughout the tournament. It's just obviously that last few runs that became a bit too many. And then there's pressure, there's always scoreboard pressure when you're chasing a low total, a high total. There's always a scoreboard pressure. But I'm proud of the girls. I'm really proud how they performed. I'm really glad that we had some spectators out here to see how women's cricket is played and can be played. So I think overall it was a good tournament. Unlucky to be on the losing side today.
So tell us some of the players that really stood out for you as captain. Can you just mention some of them that stood out for you?
Yeah, obviously Sunay Wittmann had a good knock or two with the bat. But up front, you want your top batters to really exploit the conditions. But she batted well for a game or two. Obviously, Vilka was a star again for the team, bowling well. Putting in a few runs with the bat we needed, taking a few pressure catches. Arasta Diergaard did well with the ball in hand when it was thrown to her as well. Vicky Hamuniela, who came back from the coast after a day that we needed her. Kaylin Green did well with the ball. You can actually, there's no one that you want to point out, but the whole team in a whole did very well. Bits and pieces, everyone pulled their weight. So I think as a team unit, we did all very, very well.
What are some positives that you're going to take, from this tournament going to the next tournament as Capricorn Eagles?
Definitely our bowling and fielding. I mean, we've seen throughout the tournament that that's really our strong point. And then again, you've got top-class batters in your team. At the end of the day, you as a batter, you do struggle, you do hit a low form. And I think if we can just sort of get out of that slump within the next month, everyone takes a bit of a mental break from cricket now, go and reset and refocus. We can always just get out stronger on top and work on the few things that needs some extra working on. And then we're good to go.
Thank you.
Before we get into the news highlights, let's take a quick ad break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Let's take a look at the highlights from today's broadcast. Namibia has reclaimed her spot at the top of the list of Africa's freest press and placed 22nd in the world, outperforming first world countries like the United Kingdom, France and Belgium. South Africa fell just below Namibia, followed by Seychelles, which dropped from the top as the freest African press in 2022. Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology Executive Director Adrian Mathe encouraged the arrival of ICT giant Complete Enterprise Solutions last week during the company's information event. Uganda, with 93 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs, won the final of the Capricorn Quadrangular International T20 competition by 3 runs against the Capricorn Women Eagles at United in the capital today. The Eagles nearly managed to beat Uganda. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the Animate platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenn Rashipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.